So hello there and welcome to today's Facebook Live here with the Wrekin Housing Group. So it's a busy week for many of us. I'm sure all of us are aware that tomorrow is Black Friday. So it's a day where millions of items are expected to tumble in price as retailers are all competing for our hard-earned money. However, I'm sure all, like many of us, our finances are tighter than ever this year. So many of us will be sort of understandably questioning whether it's really worth joining the hunt for bargains. I know many people will have saved throughout the year to pay for Christmas. Some of us may be putting Christmas on a credit card, or maybe some of us are even considering taking out unaffordable loans to pay for everything. But I'm pleased to say there is another way. And today I'm delighted to be joined by both Steve Barras and Amy Jones from Just Credit Union. So Just Credit Union, they can probably do a better job than me of selling their services, but they're a not-for-profit community bank owned by its members and managed for their mutual benefit. It provides a safe haven for your savings, so with access to affordable, low-cost loans. And the best thing is membership is open to anyone who lives or works in either the Shropshire or Telford and Wrekin areas. So today, Steve and Amy are going to talk a little bit more about the Just Credit Union, the services they provide, and how they offer a safe and affordable way for borrowing money if you need it. And I'm also delighted to be joined by Deb from our Money Matters team, who do some brilliant work supporting our tenants who are falling on who are going through some tough times financially. So she'll be there to talk a little bit about the services that their team provides. If you have got any questions for either Steve, Amy, or Deb, please just drop them in the comments box during the Facebook Live, and we'll do our best to answer them. So thank you everyone for joining us, and thanks to all Steve, Amy, and Deb for taking the time out today. So I've done my best there to sum up what the credit union's all about, but I think it's best to go over to you guys. So first, Amy, so what is the credit union and how do they work?
Okay, well, I think you took most of the good words I was going to use already in the title, so thank you for that. So I'll just go over it a little bit. So the credit unions, we're non-profit making and we're a financial cooperative run by its members for its members. So we don't have sort of like a bank where the shareholders are there and they can take the profits. We're run by volunteers really for the board of directors who help run the credit union alongside the members. And for those that haven't heard of the credit union, just to put a little bit of into context, they're not just a little thing that you think, oh, what is one? Credit unions have got 375 million members worldwide. So they're not little, they're really big. 1.3 million of which are in the UK. And Just Credit Union is one of the 240 that are based in the UK. So we were established in 2001 and we've got 9 members of staff. With around 75 years experience between us in working at the credit union, so they sort of know a little bit about what they're talking about. We're a community credit union, so to join all you have to do is live or work in Shropshire, Telford and Wrekin, nothing else, no fancy words hiding anywhere, nothing like that. That is all it is. Anybody can join, being a child, pensioner, unemployed, employed, anybody, it's open for you. We're currently up to member 9,345. We always get really excited when someone new joins, so that's always good. To explain what credit unions do in the most simplest term, I would say it's a big pot of money, a little bit like what's under the rainbow, I suppose, and everybody's savings go into that pot, and that's what we use to make affordable loans to local people. So as I like to say it, and everybody does, it's just people helping people. That's it really. That's as simple as it gets, and we'll touch on the rest of it as we go through. So yeah, that's all I'd like to say really. Thank you.
Well, that all sounds amazing, and hopefully after watching this today we might hit the 10k barrier. Who knows? So that's all great, Amy. It sounds brilliant. And I guess this one's for you, Steve. And what sort of differentiates the Just Credit Union from your bank or companies who offer loans? Oh, I think we're going to have to stop you there, Steve. We're struggling to hear you. Then I don't know if it's just me or anyone else. So apologies there. We'll try and get you on as soon as possible there. But I guess while Steve's out, Amy, can you sum up then what the sort of key differences are between sort of the, like I mentioned, the bank or companies who offer loans?
Yeah, well, the credit union looks at everybody as an individual, I suppose. So if you went into a bank and you wanted to apply for a loan of maybe £600, it might not be something that they would offer. And they might just turn you away and just say, oh, we don't want to offer that support, that type of loan, or we'll give you £2,000. That's not how the credit union works. We assess everybody on an individual basis. We don't judge anybody regarding their circumstances, and we just like to do it that way, really, just to make sure that everybody knows they're coming into a safe environment, they're not going to be judged, and we base it all on affordability. So I think that's what makes us different to a bank, is you're not a number, you're a person, and we're happy to lend you from £300 to £15,000. It doesn't need to be, you can only have £2, £5, £10,000.
Oh wow! So quite a substantial amount of money there then, and I guess this is one for you, Deb. Obviously, you deal with a lot of sort of our customers here at Wrekin. I mean, do many of them use the sort of credit union and their services?
We do actively promote the credit union. I mean, we've worked with Just Credit Union for many years, so we do, if people are considering loans, we would always urge them to try the credit union first. But we work with people in lots of different ways, so we'll look at their budgeting, we'll try and do our best to reduce their expenditure. We'll look to ensure that they're claiming all the income that they're entitled to, whether that's tax credits, universal credit to top up your wages, whether it's health related benefits. So we will work with people very holistically and look at their whole situation and do what we can to improve their financial situation. But we also offer regulated debt advice, and our Wrekin debt advice service are really encourage their clients to move over to the credit union to start saving. So once we've gone through that debt advice journey with them, we will try and encourage them to become members of the credit union so that they can improve their financial circumstances moving forward and put themselves in a position where hopefully they won't have to get in debt again in the future, that they can actually start saving and give them access to those affordable loans as and when they need them.
No, that's great to hear that our tenants are taking up sort of Just Credit Union on their brilliant offers. And I guess this will be a query that many people have, obviously, whenever money is involved, and it's particularly if people are putting their sort of hard-earned money and savings into an account. Amy, are people's savings safe with the Just Credit Union?
Yeah, so anybody can save up to £15,000 in a credit union account, and their savings are as safe with us as they are with any bank. We're regulated by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. So at any point, you're up to your 15,000 is covered, that what you can save up to. So there's never a worry that way.
Oh, well, that's reassuring, especially in these sort of challenging financial times, and we have to make every penny count. So that's good to hear. And I guess if obviously there's lots of competition out there for you guys, I guess. So if I'm looking to sort of invest my money or take out a loan, what's in it for me if I save with you guys, and what sort of levels of interest is there involved?
Okay. Oh, I would say there's everything. So I'm a big supporter of the credit union. You've got easy access to money in terms of savings, so you can get your savings out the same day. You can pay in really easily. Borrowings quite easy to do. You can do it online. You can speak to us over the phone. Interest rates do vary depending on the type of loan that you're going for. Our APR is based on the reducing balance. We always say to everybody, come and get a quote, because sometimes they'll think, oh, I'll go and get a loan from someone else. They've just said I need to pay back £5 per week. But really, how many weeks are they paying that for? How much are they really paying up front? So we have people that come to us that borrow £600 and they pay back £1,500. So which is astronomical. You don't want people to do that. So we always say, if you're going to borrow, make sure that you're asking, how much am I paying back completely and full? So I think that's always good, that we're open and honest when we see everybody, when they sign their loan agreement, they've got a breakdown of payment. So we're very understanding of circumstances. They get everything up front, and we have a little chat with everybody. Also, I think coming to the credit union, you're not just a number, you're not just an account number like if you go to a bank. If we get a new member, like I say, we get really excited and we're like, welcome to the credit union on the phone. We do welcome calls. We call everyone just to make sure everything was fine. And I think that's a really good thing to have, because you don't get that a lot these days. And I think that makes us different to a bank or a basic savings account, I think, because you get to speak to somebody. Also, you're not just putting your money in and it's getting forgotten about. What you've got to remember, if you save with the credit union, it's coming back into the community. So you're helping, like if you're a mum, those mums on the school playground, you're helping them if they need to come for an affordable loan. You sat with your colleagues in the office, for all you know that they're a member of the credit union. So your money's actually helping them borrow affordably rather than go to the payday loans and the loan sharks. They're people around you without you even knowing, your neighbours, your local your bus driver, you know, what you're doing to save and put away, or even when you borrow, your interest comes back into that pot and you're just allowing us to deliver our service. So we couldn't do what we do without our members and without savings. So as an organisation, we're really grateful for that as well, because we don't want people to get into financial difficulty. So if we can get them first, I think they get quite a lot from the credit union. I'm biased, I've been here for 18 years, but you know, I still think it's great.
Well, that all sounds great, and I think it's great to hear that there's a lot of that wraparound care for people, obviously, that you wouldn't necessarily get if you went to like a big bank, or if you've taken out a payday loan. So that's great to hear. So I'm delighted Steve's joined us now. So I just want to check if his mic's working and stuff. So I mean, one of the
Hi Gareth, can you hear me now?
Yeah, brilliant, loud and clear. So that's great.
Sorry about earlier. I was obviously just chatting to myself, but
oh, it's all right. I'm sure what you said was really useful. But I mean, one thing I think we'll be keen on. I mean, we've all got savings accounts with sort of banks, and the level of interest is probably not great at the moment. So if someone is to save with the Just Credit Union, do you pay sort of levels of interest on savings accounts?
Yeah, as we explained earlier, Just Credit Union is a cooperative, so everybody who is a member is effectively a part owner of the organisation. So what we do every year is we have a volunteer board who have a look at our figures, and obviously they do want to reward our savers with what we call a dividend. So they have a look at the accounts, they make a recommendation of the percentage that will be paid to all of our savers, and that then goes to the AGM with a one person, one vote. So it's all very democratic. It's all decided by volunteers, but you know, fundamentally we do want to reward people for saving with us, particularly as it's an instant, effectively same day instant access savings account. So
that's great to hear. And I'm sure people are listening to this now and thinking about, or the possibility of maybe taking out a loan or looking at a savings account. Is there a minimum amount of loan that people can apply for?
£300. So they can apply for anything between the value of 300 and 15,000. Like I say, we do look at everybody individually, so it is based on affordability. We basically look at what you've got coming in, what you've got going out, and if you can afford the loan. So whatever you need, we'll do what we can to help. So say if they apply for a loan of £1,000 and they only add affordability for 700, we'll give them a ring and just say, we can't really look at 1,000, but are you interested in 700, and see how that goes. So it'd never just be a complete shut off if there's some affordability there to borrow. That we always try and do what we can, if we can, to help.
That's great to hear. And obviously in sort of the national press you hear sort of horror stories from people who have taken out sort of payday loans, etc. And with the levels of sort of APR and stuff, they're really struggling to pay back. I take it you guys have really stringent sort of checks in place for people when they apply for a loan.
Yeah, we do an affordability check for every application, so it's all looked at individually. So every application that we get, we sit down and look at that person. We haven't got like numbers that we stick to or anything like that. It is based on that individual person. So we just take it as we find them and see what we can do. Really, we do credit checks, and obviously we have to lend responsibly. If someone's had an IVA in the last couple of weeks or a DRO, a debt relief order, we wouldn't be responsible if we were to lend to them in a few months after, because it's been worked out already that they can't afford their debt. So we do have to lend responsibly as much as we can, because it is our members' money that we've got to protect.
Fantastic.
It's probably also worth mentioning that all of the people who do have loans with us also have a savings account. So they put a little bit into that each week or month, and they build up a little nest egg, which should circumstances change or should they need to access money, that savings there, and hopefully they develop a savings habit over time, and they come at the end of the loan and they've got a little pot there which they can use as they wish.
That's great. You've almost read my mind there, Steve, with the next question. So what I was going to ask is, can someone open a savings account even if they don't need to borrow money?
Yes, certainly. We have a lot of people who just save with us. They know their savings are secure. They know they can get access to them when they need to. And also a lot of people save with us because they know it's helping their neighbours, their friends, people who live or work in the same community, as Amy mentioned earlier. And of course, it also means that they've got a great relationship then with the credit union. And if they do have a big expense or an emergency, they've got a relationship with us and they can come to us for a loan whenever they want to.
It's great to hear that you've got such a good relationship sort of with your customers, which is brilliant. And I guess now we've touched upon sort of Black Friday and Christmas, always a really expensive time for people. Amy, if people are thinking now, they're listening to this and they're thinking, oh yeah, I could really do with a loan in time for Christmas. What's the deadline for people if they want to get a sort of a Christmas loan with you guys?
Okay, well, there's still 31 sleeps to go, so they've got plenty of time to still apply. Yeah. The cut-off date for loans, for a Christmas loan, for us to assess it and to have made a decision is Friday the 16th of December at 11:59. So we just have to make sure that as long as they fill our criteria and policy, then they can still apply up until the 16th of December. They don't need to wait till then. What we find is we do have some members that don't want the money until, say, the 16th of December. So they think, oh, if I leave it till the last minute, then I'll apply. What I would suggest is apply, and if your loan's approved, we can pop it in your savings. So then it's sat in your savings account waiting for you. So we had a lady the other day who on the 12th of December wants to buy her son a bike, and she didn't want the money in her account because she was afraid that if a bill might go out or she might spend it. So we've popped that loan now in her savings account, and on the 11th of December, she's made a note to give us a ring to take her savings out ready to buy her son a bike for Christmas. So it's just about managing and budgeting that money just right. So you don't have to wait until the 16th. You can pop it in your savings and take a little bit out each week to fit, buy the Christmas presents, get the food shop. So you then know it's there and you're not waiting till the 16th. And then if we can't help, then you're broke and we're upset about it because we can't help. So I think to be that little bit organised, pop it in your savings and then take it out to suit you, really. I think that's quite a good way to go about it if you need it.
Wow. So Friday the 16th of December at 11:59 was it?
Yeah.
People have got still a few weeks to get your request in for a loan. And is this the busiest time of year for you guys then, with people wanting to take money out for Christmas?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we are. Most of our business is generated in October, November, and December, ready for the whole year. So yeah, very busy time. Nice time, but very busy.
I bet. So all leave is cancelled then during those months, is it? And you're just beavering away then, trying to process all these loans and stuff. So, fantastic work. And I guess this one's for you, Steve. Then, so so this one's for Amy. Apologies. So if someone needs access for their savings, how do they go about withdrawing their money?
Lots of different ways. When you open an account, you designate a bank account. So we've got a bank account connected to your file. So you can phone, you get it the same day. You just phone, can you send me 50 quid or whatever? We'll send it the same day. You've got online access. We've got where people can log into their account, see their balances and make withdrawals. So they can do it there. It's in there the same day. We've got a communication app where you can chat to one of our great team members, engagement officers, and just say, can I have a withdrawal? Request it that way. But if you're not technology or phony, you can also request a form in the post, or you can print one off the website and send it us. So hopefully we cover all aspects. So you've got telephone withdrawals, online withdrawals, communication app withdrawals, and postal withdrawals. So we try and cover everything. So it's really easy, and the money is in the bank the same day, provided they ring for it before about 5 to 4 on that day. Then we guarantee the money's in, providing the bank's not playing it.
No, that's brilliant to hear. We've had our first comments. It's actually from a member of your team, Deb. So I don't know if you've been offering some bribery or anything, but there's Lois who works as part of the Money Matters team, does some brilliant work, sort of supporting people who, like we mentioned earlier, are falling on some tough times financially. She says, I work for Wrekin supporting tenants. Not only do I promote Just Credit Union as a great way to save, I actually use them myself. Definitely recommended. So that's a glowing endorsement there from. Oh, and she just no bribery from Deb. She just messaged back. So she's doing this of her own free will, which is great to hear, and stuff. So it's great to hear that sort of positive comment there about it's not only we're only not promoting this to our tenants, we've also got members of staff as well who who use the service, which is great to hear. And I know this is not only exclusive to Wrekin customers, but obviously lots of people are finding it tough at the moment, particularly when it comes to sort of bills. We all know about rising energy costs. Our weekly shop in the supermarket is going up. Putting fuel in the car, it's all hitting us in the pocket at the moment. So, Steve, if you have got customers who are struggling with their bills, or might even be struggling to make those loan repayments, what support do you guys offer?
Okay, if people have a loan with Just Credit Union and their circumstances have changed, then we really encourage them to contact us. Pick up the phone. It's sometimes difficult to do, but pick up the phone. Our team are brilliant. They're really helpful. They're really understanding, and they're so approachable. They can help reassess your circumstances and review your payments and come up with something that takes away some of the stress, but still keeps you saving and still keeps your loan getting repaid. For broader bits and pieces in terms of help under the current financial pressures, I'm sure Debs will shortly talk about what's available through Money Matters in the Wrekin Housing Group. And we also do a few things like helpful hints and tips on our webpage about how to save money, some of the pitfalls, some of the dangers of things like illegal money lenders. And we also signpost people, which I think is very important, to quality debt advice if they are falling into problems. It's important that people go to the right place, and that should be one of the high quality, impartial debt charities, if they're not talking directly with the Wrekin Housing Group Money Matters team.
That's great, and I guess that leads nicely to you, Deb. I mean, the advice is, isn't it, really, to not bury your head in the sand, get in contact early, and we understand, a lot of our tenants might not be in a position to save or consider a low-cost loan, and people who are really, we're talking about people who are really struggling to make ends meet. What help does sort of your team offer here at Wrekin?
We're a team of 15, so we have benefit advisors, tenancy sustainment officers, and we also have Wrekin Debt Advice, which is a free, regulated, impartial debt advice service. So we can offer a really broad range of support to customers. And the great thing about our team, we've got a lot of expertise, but we will work with customers one-to-one and really tailor our help and advice to their needs. So whether it is around, reducing your expenditure, making sure you've got the right level of income coming in, we'll look at what you're spending your money on, maybe helping you move on to social tariffs for your TV and broadband, maybe moving on to different schemes, for example, to reduce your water bills. we can also support you in a crisis. So, you know, something happens, suddenly you've got no food in your cupboards, you've got no money to top up your gas, your electric. We really urge people to contact us, because there's such a lot of help out there, and we tap into funding from our local authorities, maybe from charitable organisations and discretionary grants and trusts. We do a lot of help getting people essential furniture. So if people haven't got the essential furniture they need, or they're having to replace things and they haven't got the funds, so maybe, you know, beds, bedding, washing machines and other white goods, we've got lots of pots that we can tap into, and lots of organisations that we can reach out to get people the help that they need. And the key thing is to engage with us, to make contact with us. The team are available on direct on the phone, so Monday to Friday 9 to 5 you can get through to the team. You can contact us by email, or you can come through our contact centre or your housing officer, and they can make a referral for us to contact you direct. But I think, so the key thing is, our advice is open to every Wrekin Housing Group customer, whatever your circumstances, and the help and support that we offer will be really tailored to what you need. So it's a really broad remit, but it will be tailored really to, and we'll be with you on that journey to improve your financial situation. So yeah, lots of help out. We just need people to pick up the phone, drop us a line, and we'll do what we can to help you.
Yeah, and I just echo all you said, Deb. Having, you know, work closely with you guys, and you know, I've spoken to the people you've helped, and just a fantastic work that you guys, and you know, we're talking. This is a team that has you know, has been successful in sort of boosting people's income by millions, isn't it? Millions across all our tenants.
Absolutely. I mean, just from April this year, I think we've worked with over 1,200 customers, and we've brought in sort of positive financial outcomes of over £2 million. Wow. So the team are really good at what they do, and the team really appreciate the impact that money worries can have on your overall well-being. You know, we really understand that, and we will do what we can to support you, whatever your circumstances and whatever your needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself. So, I mean, what we'll do once we're wrapped up, we'll put all the details about how to get in touch with Money Matters on the comments box. But if you are a Wrekin tenant and you are struggling, you know, please get in touch with the team. You know, you'll be treated with respect, and you know, they'll tailor the support to your needs. So I'd encourage everyone to do that. Now we've done the little Wrekin promo. Now back to sort of the credit union stuff. I guess some people will be concerned, Steve, that you know, if they have a bad credit rating, can they still apply for a loan?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we recognise that we live in an uncertain world, and people can have money problems for a whole range of reasons. It might be separation, it might be illness, it might be redundancy. So we encourage people to still apply, give us all the information, and then we can assess your individual circumstances and work a way forward. And yeah, we certainly lend to an awful lot of people who were excluded from various other financial organisations, and we're happy to do so because we're really interested in people's credit future, not their credit history, and we can work with them if they put in an application.
Oh, that's good to hear. So if you have got a bad credit rating for whatever reason, don't be put off by getting in touch. You know, the Just Credit Union are there to help you, and they'll work with you. So that's great to hear. And one thing, you know, when I was researching this, one thing we came across is one thing I did hear is that you can get child benefit paid directly into your savings account. Is that true, Amy?
Yeah. So if you wanted to, some people prefer to have their benefits paid into the credit union. Predominantly, it is people that have got loans. So they'll set up, let's say you've got one child, you've got £21.80 a week coming in. They'll send it directly to us, and then what happens is we pay off the loan, pop some in their savings because we make sure that they save each week, and then we'll send some back directly to their bank depending on how many children they've got and how much money is left. So yes, we do offer that. What we do suggest, though, is because some people think, right, that's the thing that they need to do to be able to get a loan is paying their child benefit. It's not necessarily the right thing for everybody. So if you're not looking to apply for a loan for the time being, what we do suggest to people is, rather than, if you can't afford to save the £20 a week, set up a standing order on the same day that your child benefit goes into your bank, and let the £5 come in each week. So the child benefit's hitting your bank, you know you've got your fiver in your bank, set up your standing order, send that to your savings for the time being, make sure that that's affordable to you. Over time, you can increase that to 10. And then if you think, actually, yeah, that 20 quid is affordable to me, I do want to save that each week, I'm going to set my child benefit up. I think what people have got to remember is it's about what's right for them. Every saving journey is different. So, you know, even just saving £2-3 a week makes such a difference. On the child benefit side, paying back the loan has worked phenomenally, to be honest. And over the last 15 years, the stories of people that have paid off their child benefit, and they've learned to get used to that money, basically. So that £20 has continued to come to us once they've cleared their loan, and they found over a year they're saving £1,000, over £1,000, and they get quite emotional because they've never been in a position where they think that they can do that. So they've just left it, cleared off their loan, left their money, and thought, right, I'm going to leave it. And then every, like, say 6 months into the year, you've got 500-600 quid in there. That's the summer holiday sorted. You've got your holidays paid for. 6 months after that, you've got Christmas. Christmas is sorted. So we've managed to turn a borrower into a saver, and that's one of my favourite things about the job. Well, I will say we had one example, and this lady was crying her eyes out on the phone because she'd forgotten that she cleared the loan and her child benefit was coming in. She'd saved up £800, and that allowed her to change her garden so her disabled son could go out and play last summer. So to have stories like that, just it reiterates why we love our job and why we are a little bit different to a bank, because she rang, she sobbed her heart out, she was over the moon, rang after she'd had it and just said, God, thank you for helping me do that. And it's like, no, we did nothing. We were just the platform. You did all the hard work. You saved the money. All we did was keep it for you, keep it from you. And then when you needed it, it was there. So yeah, anyone can pay in their child benefit, save for holidays, garden furniture. But it predominantly is, if you're paying back a loan, we'll take your child benefit just because it's that bit easier for you to manage your money then. So yeah.
Oh wow, it must be, when you hear stories like that, where I know you sort of downplayed the role that sort of just credit union have done there, but when you hear stories like that, it must be sort of incredibly rewarding.
Oh, honestly, we get so emotional in the office. We've had times where we've been sat like with tears in our eyes speaking to members, because it's such a good part. They've smashed it. Our members are smashing life by saving, and without this, and they trust the staff with their money. So I think it does make you really proud to know that what you're doing to change some people, it's changing their lives effectively. Some people might not see it as that, but just even people having savings of £100, 50 quid that have never had it before, this Christmas, if they can't afford the loan, but they've got 50 quid in their savings that they can go out and buy their son like his favorite game, or their daughter like a unicorn or something like that. I think it makes a massive difference, and we're grateful for that. That's why I think that makes us a little bit different as well.
Oh wow, that's great to hear, and I'm sure a lot of our grandparents would have done this for us in the past, where they've gone to set up a sort of a saving account for their grandkids and stuff. Can someone go in and speak to you guys and set up a child saving account with you, Amy?
Yeah. Anybody you can be. We've had someone that's 5 days old before a nan's come in and brought the birth certificate and been right. I want to open it. Yeah. So anybody that lives or works in Shropshire can have an account. We've got a grandma that saved up for a prom dress. So proms must be a big thing at the moment. They saved up for their granddaughter's prom dress. So yeah, any savings. We do ask that there's a guarantor type person on the account up until the age of 16, 18 that controls it and manages it. But yeah, no, there can be an account for any child. It's one of the great things I think that we offer.
We also do savings clubs via a number of schools. So we're always interested in talking to schools, and we can set up a little savings club with those, and all the pupils get the opportunity to pay in. And Amy and I have had some great fun doing some promotional stuff with schools, running around dressed as all sorts of different things and playing Alan Sugar and things like that. So it's we're always interested to talk to schools.
Well, I guess that's a really good age as well, isn't it, to get people thinking about saving and sort of the importance of sort of looking after your money, isn't it? Because children are quite switched on at that age, and they're willing to engage. So that's great to hear that you guys are doing that. I know Amy, you've just touched upon a really, really brilliant case study there. Have you got any other examples of stuff that's really moved you, or members of the team where you think, wow, I have really made a difference to someone's life?
We had one lady that was basically on the verge, she was in a domestic violence case and was on the verge of doing something very harmful to herself, and she went into supportive housing. And sometimes just to be able to offer someone like that a rent deposit as well, and they come back to you and they're so grateful 12 months down the line and just thanking you for sort of believing in them and trusting them to lend the money to pay it back. That's quite emotional. A lot for me is got to be the mums with the kids, just being so grateful that we've helped them provide for their kids over this. Like the school uniforms was heartbreaking a couple of years ago. People should be able to afford school uniforms. They should, they shouldn't be put in a position where they need to borrow. We get so many fantastic stories, but the garden one pushed me over the edge for the disabled son, if I'm honest, because it got me very, very emotional. But fantastic. It's the borrowers that go into the savers for me are the magic of it all, because they just didn't believe that they could do it, and you just save, just starting off with £2-3 a week really, really does make a difference. Once you start, I think it's life changing.
Well, I think I'll be in touch after we're done today. It sounds like you guys are doing some amazing work, and it's it's just brilliant hearing stories like that where it just highlights the difference. Just saving a few pound a week will do, and knowing that their money is safe, secure, and they'll get that wraparound care. So that's brilliant. I think that's it for our questions today. So just a couple of other things I've noted. Obviously around the sort of Christmas loans, Friday the 16th of December is your deadline. So you'll get that in. What we'll do, like I say, we'll put all the information in the comments after we're done today. So if anyone needs to access some information, we'll put the websites, all the links and stuff. So just, is there anything else, sort of, Amy or Steve or Deb, that you want to add before we finish?
Well, actually, to touch on your point, Gareth, about starting to become a saver, at the Wrekin Housing Group, we have a payroll deduction scheme with Just Credit Union. I know lots of organisations and companies across Shropshire and Telford and Wrekin do the same, make it really easy for their employees to save with Just Credit Union. So at the Wrekin Housing Group, you can set up as little or as much as you want, and it gets taken out of your wages before they go into your bank, straight into your Just Credit Union savings account, which makes it so easy. You don't even have to think about it. And as Amy and Steve have said, it soon mounts up when you forget about it. So that can be your route, Gareth, just to start your Just Credit Union savings journey.
Well, yeah, that's less excuse for me to buy some beer then, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's a good idea, Dev. I'll definitely look into that. Steve, anything or Amy, anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. I think thanks for inviting us along. It's great to have the opportunity to chat about the credit union. As you can see, the team are pretty enthusiastic about what we do for the community, and particularly Amy, who leads our sport team. And we're here for people. Get in touch.
No, that's great. No, thank you to both Steve and Amy for taking the time out, especially as it is in the middle of your crazy season. So we really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to join us today. So big thank you to Deb, Amy and Steve for joining us, and a big thank you to to everyone who's watched today. And like I say, we'll put all the information and stuff in the comments box. So that it's there if you need it. So no, thanks for joining us. And this will probably be our last Facebook Live before the big day. So Merry Christmas to everyone.
Cheers. Thanks,
Thank you.
Amy.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.